Hi, this is Cousin Russ. I'm trying something new, or get into more of a habit of doing this. So I'm going to do office hours. And if you want to know a little bit more about what I'm attempting to do, uh, there's a playlist called Office Hours. And I have put some instructions in the description of the office hours uh, description, talking about how you can ask me questions and what I will do with them. What I'm going to try to do is to uh, uh, I'm going to try to schedule the office hours. And if you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, when I when I schedule a broadcast, you will get a notification. The notification should uh, give you some information about what I'm going to talk about uh, and give you some time to join if you are able. So I'm trying that for the first time today. And what I have learned in testing using this environment is that I get an email if you leave a comment. So if you leave a comment, uh, once the recording is over, I will get notified, so I will know to come back and look here. If you are watching for the first time, and I see I have somebody watching, no, now, please leave a comment of where you're watching from. Just, just leave a comment. And if you have a question as I go along, please feel free to ask the questions as I go along. And are you a user of the Family Tree Maker program? Because that's what I'm going to be talking about. And I want to change the scrolling thing to give you a link to the blog. So, okay, I'm going to get started. Nobody's watching live at the moment, but that's okay. Um, that's my schedule that I was trying to meet to do this demonstration. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. As some of you may know, if you watched anything that I did for Roots Tech, I've been working on a file that is not my file. It was given to me by someone else, and the file is the database that was used to create the companion guide, which is in the help menu of Family Tree Maker. I have the help menu up on the screen. I clicked help, FTM 2009 companion guide, and I'm going to bring it over here so you know what it looks like. It's in the help menu. It's a great manual. It's also a great help. You don't need a paper copy. If you want to print a page or two, you can do that. Don't forget that PDF files are searchable. So the database does not meet my requirements. That's all I'm going to say about that. So what I did for Roots Tech is made some changes and working on cleaning up that file so it does meet my standards. Now, one thing that I have done is I use the task list in the plan workspace a lot. Now you only see one thing here now, but I'm going to change that. I'm going to click the down arrow, the filter by task, and I'm going to select everything. So within my task, I have 187 tasks. Yes, it's a lot, but it's misleading a little bit in that I don't have to do anything. What I have done in Family Tree Maker in the Plan Workspace task list is give me reminders of stuff so I don't have to remember it. Now I'm going to go back to the filter by task. I'm going to clear all of the task and I'm going to show a couple of these one at a time. So the census, what I have done is created a task for each of the census years U.S. federal census that we have, and when they will be available, or what is the official date of the census. So that's my census task list. You'll see that the 1950 census, the official date is April 1st, and it will be released April 1st of this year. So I don't have to remember the official date. And the reason why it's important for me to know the official date is because when I use a census record, I use the official date for the residence fact. I may get a whole bunch of other stuff off of that census record, but the only one that I will use the official date is the residence fact. Now, for the other facts that I may pull off of that, I will use the date on the census record itself, the date that the enumerator took that census. So the census category, just as a reminder for me that it's in the program, I don't have to look anyplace else, but I have a list of all the census records. All right, I'm going to get rid of the census record, and I'm going to click on color coding. So I use 4 colors for color coding, and this is the color coding that I use in my file normally. You notice that I have a number that calls for DNA matches. There's also one that's in the low priority that's showing complete. I tried pink and I didn't like how it turned out. Now, I could delete that, but I want it as a reminder. The other thing you may notice is that I have different numbers down here. This is the 600 series is my color coding numbers. So as I use the color coding, I want to remember how I use the color coding. So I'm going to get rid of color coding, and I'm going to do routine. Now the routine is a series of reports that I do frequently. Run a birth date report. I'll show these at other times. I've probably demonstrated in the past, but these are routines that I do regularly. They don't have to be done uh, on the first week of whatever. I just do them as I'm able. Usually about once a week is correct. So I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to bring up statehood. I took all states and have a date of when they became a state. So it's in alphabetical order, but the date is in the date that we're made a state is in the description. Just a quick reminder, if I don't remember, I always have it in my database. So this is the important piece. I'm going to click on file notes. These are all file notes that I have created. These are my rules, 76 rules that I have in my file. It's a reminder of how I handle stuff. Now, there's a method to my madness. Anything that begins with a 0 takes place in the planned workspace. So some information about the planned workspace. I'm going down to the 100 series, and I say 100, note, people workspace. I'm going down to 200. So there's the people workspace, there's the places workspace. 300 is the media workspace. This is all the rules that I have made by workspace. The numbers are not important. I do have the 100, 200 specifically for the workspace title. For an example, how do I handle a name which I don't know? It's in the people workspace. Unknown names equals 5 underscores. I don't have to remember if I work on a file and uh, for an example, a file they've been working on for one of my students, uh, they come to the plan workspace and the task list and the file notes, and you will see how I handle it. Uh, there's a whole bunch, like I said, there's 76 of these items that are for each workspace. The media workspace, here's my file naming convention that I use, the file names, the caption information, the categories that I use. And then I have a 700 series. The 700 series is unique for this file. Now, what you're looking at is the file that only contains task notes, but I created a profile called fact notes. So if I go to the people workspace, you'll see that I have only one person because I'm going to link stuff when this goes online. I'm going to link things to the notes person. For an example, I create a PDF file for this file notes list. So I create a PDF clicking on the print task list, and I save it as a PDF file, and then I attach it to the file notes profile. Now, I'm not going to do that with this file because I'm going to actually do something with this file to do the merge that I mentioned. I'm going to click on the person so you see what else is here. Is that there's citations. So I have a citation for this person. I have a media file. There's an example of file notes. The tasks. There's 2 data error report messages that I cannot resolve because of the uniqueness of this profile. Now, having said that, the merge of file that I want to do now, and if you're watching, please put in comments where you're watching from. We would appreciate it. Uh, the banner underneath the blue banner is the blog that I have. And let me throw this other comment up here. Um, I have added information about the office hours playlist, a way that you can ask a question before, during, or after. It is my plan for the future uh, to read your comments that were left not while I was not live streaming and do a blog post or one of these office hours. But I do plan on, to the best that I can, schedule office hours so you get a notification. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you subscribe, you'll get a notification that I am going live, and I will do my best to put a description in the scheduled live broadcast what I am going to talk about, which is what I'm working on right now. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to export this file, everybody, into Family Tree Maker 2019 format. I'm not going to touch any of these uh, uh, what to include, and I'm going to click OK. And when I click OK, it says give me a file name. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call this test because it will go away shortly. What I'm doing is creating a copy of the file that I just demonstrated to you. And it is now completed. And so I can now do a file close. So I've just closed that file that I was demonstrating a few minutes ago. Now I'm going to go into the file that I used as demonstration for RootsTech. So I'm opening that file now. Again, if you have any questions as I go along, please use the comments of this broadcast. Let me know where you're watching it from. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, so I'm going to go to the planned workspace. When I go to the planned workspace, I've got some tasks, about 200. Probably got more than that. I have a bunch of uh, categories. I have tasks that I already have going here, but my file notes is not here. It's on file notes into this program. That file that I just created, I want to add data to file. Do you want to? Yes, I do. So, and as I've talked about before, I put the time of the backup and I put it into a specific folder on my computer. So I'm now doing a backup of the file that I've been using. And now it's asking me what file do you want to bring in? And what it was task notes 2015. Make sure that's correct. And it was last opened at a couple minutes ago, so that's about right. Wait a minute, that's not right. Let me see if it's not in backups. I am looking. Nope, no, that was the file. Let me get that file back. Sorry about that. File notes. So that's the host file, and that's the file that's coming in. Include all individuals from imported file, merge any duplicates, and I click next. And it found a new person, and that is correct. That's what I pointed out a few minutes ago. And I say merge. Now I've got 500. So all of those tasks that were in that file that I showed you when I started are now into Family Tree Maker 2019. My working file is now in, and that's what I wanted. Uh, I will, at some point in time later, do a merge of two working files. Uh, I didn't want to do that, but I want to work on this file. But I was tired of looking at notes when I have all the notes that I need right here in Family Tree Maker. And as I close, I'm going to do what I normally do at the end of the day, but I'm going to do it now because I just merged it. I'm going to add the time, put it in the specific folder for all of my backups, and now it's compacting the file. That is, it's checking the file out and make sure it's okay, cleaning up any internal errors that I might have. It's not down to 0% yet. I'm going to do a compact again and compact, but this time I'm just going to perform extended analysis because I have a backup that I can go to immediately that I made before it compacted. So here we go. And I am now down to 0%. So now I could go ahead and uh, sync, but I am not going to do that. What I'm going to do is end, uh, end the office hours. Please leave comments. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions, please do so. Please ask the questions, and I'll get a notification uh, that you've left a comment. And also, please check out the office hours playlist description. I spent a few minutes in typing out some information for the playlist and how I hope to use it. Okay, if there's no comments, thank you very much for stopping by and watching, and have a great day.